guys, welcome back to Shelf Life Extension. I'm Alexis, and today I'm going to be doing the A Darker Shade of Magic book tag. So this tag was created by Kayla Rain. It's her original tag, and it has 5 questions all related to the Darker Shade of Magic novel by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab, however you want to look at it. So it has 5 questions. I'll have to be honest, I haven't read this book, and I know it's amazing. All the people who I trust have said it's a good book, but I just haven't got around to it. I have so many other things that I want to read, so many other things I want to get to, so I just don't know when I'm actually gonna get to reading A Darker Shade of Magic. Like, I will. Once I start getting steady paychecks from Barnes & Noble, then I'm definitely gonna go crazy and start buying a whole bunch of books that have been out for a while that I still need to get, like Ready Player One, A Darker Shade of Magic, Penryn End of Days, Penryn and the End of Days, the last book, a couple other things. There's obviously a list, I just can't think of it. But anyways, so in the story A Darker Shade of Magic, there are 4 different Londons, and they're all kind of like parallel universes all over, kind of overlapping each other, and the main character can go through all these dimensions. And so we've got all 4 dimensions, all 4 Londons, and each London has a question to it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So first is Grey London. What is an underrated book that packs a punch? So I was looking at my bookshelf and I wasn't exactly sure what to pick, but I chose Skinned by Robin Wasserman. I think I've mentioned this before a while ago, or maybe I did a video, but I never posted it. I don't know. Anyways, this is a pretty cool series. It's about a girl named Leah who gets in a car accident, and pretty much she is going to die from her injuries. But luckily, during this period in time, there is a program in which you can get a biomechanical body to look exactly like the person, and then you can download their consciousness into this biomechanical body. So obviously Leah comes from a very rich family, and the family's like, no, I can't lose my very beautiful, successful daughter. So they obviously go ahead and download her into this new biomechanical body, and she's like, what the heck? You know, she wakes up, she's like, I'm a robot. I'm not a real person anymore. And yeah, it's just about kind of like her struggles with identifying herself as what she is and how to kind of live life now that she is no longer technically a human being. It's a really cool story because it really focuses on morality and the whole actual concept of consciousness and what actually makes a person, because although she is technically a free-thinking being, she can't necessarily identify if she is in fact that, or if she's just programmed to be like that. So it's a very cool, interesting story. This is the first in a trilogy. I haven't continued with the trilogy, and I read this way back in high school. I just never got around to it, and I'm very interested in continuing with this series. I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point, but if you are interested in something like this, you should definitely check it out. It is really cool. Next is Red London. What is a book that left you feeling good? And I gotta give it to Fangirl. I mean, I just got done reading this a couple days ago, and it was super cute. Like, it's cute. Okay, so generally I have a really hard time with contemporary novels because I can't exactly invest myself in the storyline and in the characters because I hold them to a different standard, because I look at this as something that could potentially and possibly be happening in real life. And a lot of the times with contemporary novels, because they're so romance driven, for me, I'm just like, this isn't necessarily legit, you know? For the very few, a love like this can come along, but for a lot of people, you know, romance is tricky and annoying and heartbreaking and absolutely does not happen the way that it usually does in a book like this. So I always kind of take it with a grain of salt. So I never can fully appreciate a contemporary for what it is, but you know, hey, for the question, I really did enjoy this book. I thought it was really cute. And you know, once I was done reading it, I was like, oh, that was a really sweet story, and I'm glad I read it. So there's that. Next is White London. What is a book that drained you? So I'm picking The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice. Now, to be honest, I haven't even finished this book. I barely got into it, and that is why I'm picking it. I got maybe 104 pages. There's my bookmark, and I just had to put it down and never picked it up again, because I remember reading Anne Rice way back in the day because my sister Becky really loved Anne Rice, and she had all like the Vampire Chronicles and everything, and I remember reading Lestat, which is a hefty little thing, back in like middle school or high school, like crazy. So I remember reading that, and I saw this out, and I was like, you know what, I totally want to do Anne Rice again. I miss Anne Rice, let's do Anne Rice. But holy God, Anne Rice has a very particular writing style and a very, very distinct voice. It sometimes makes it hard to really separate that from what is happening in the story. What my biggest problem with this so far was the main character is a 23-year-old guy, right? 23-year-old guy. I'm 22 right now, and I know for a fact 23-year-old boys are still immature as all hell, right? I mean, like, there's a few who aren't, but for the most part, they never grow up, right? This is a 23-year-old guy who talks like a centuries-old vampire. And it's like, you know that's Anne Rice's style. And you know, it's such an old, wise sort of language that she uses, but sometimes it's like, this is supposed to be modern day, 23-year-old, just out of college kid who isn't anything paranormal yet, but he's talking like that, and I couldn't do it, so I was like super excited, and it just like had to stop, had to put it down, never picked it up again, and it kind of makes me sad. I definitely do want to try and revisit this and try it again, but right now I just really don't think I could do it. I really don't want to do it, and I really don't want to right now, so eventually. But yeah, you know, as you could probably assume, it's about this kid named Ruben who's a reporter, just got out of college, and goes to a report on this, you know, lady, and she bites him and he becomes a werewolf, so stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to, but I don't. It's hard. I can't. And then lastly is Black London. What is a book that consumed your life? And I'm gonna say, and kind of tweak that to what is a book that consumes your life? Because, no joke, the one that I have, you all understand. And that's Pride and freaking Prejudice. No joke. Ever since I watched the newest Pride and Prejudice, which I think that came out in 2007? 2008. Ever since I watched that for the first time way back when, I have been absolutely obsessed with the story. And I remember I watched that movie, I watched all the other renditions of the movie, and then finally I got to reading the book a few years back and absolutely loved it. I've read it multiple times since then as well. All the time I will be happy to sit down and watch Pride and Prejudice, or I'll be happy to sit down and read chunks of Pride and Prejudice. It literally is my life. I love this. This is one of my all-time favorite stories, my all-time favorite movies as well, and I just love it. It's the perfect romance and perfect story in my opinion, because I absolutely love all the characters. I love Mr. Darcy. I love the way that they come together, first absolutely kind of hating each other, at least Lizzie does, but then realizing that in the end they are actually perfect for each other. Like, no joke. This is life. This is bae. This is my OTP. Hands down. Okay guys, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I should probably tag people. I tagged Shelby. I'll tag Shelby. Let's tag Brock. Have you done this? Were you tagged? Brock, I tag you. How about Ilse? Have you been tagged? I don't even know. I'll tag you guys below. You know. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll totally check you guys out later. Bye. Totally weird, yeah.
If I hold... Knox. Don't. No, Knox, no. Okay, what was I saying? I was saying something.